1. It's worth it. Twin flame union means that I can come into full personal satisfaction in all life areas. When you're in the harmonious union state, what we're actually talking about on this channel. One by one, piece by piece. It is worth it. It's ridiculous to think that 4 or many more years and the investment of thousands of euros or however much in deep inner healing is not worth it for my life to have transformed in something so immensely satisfactory. In reality, actually, it has nothing to do with money and time. It is beyond that. But because we do live in a physical reality and you actually want to have your twin flame as a physical result in your physical life, being in a physical relationship with you, that's why we also physically invest. So that, I think, is good to know, right? That mirrors each other. There is no other way to have that fully completed and for your satisfactory experiences to commence and roll through every life area that is important to you. It is absolutely worth it. When you would be hesitating if it's worth it to do that, to be with your twin flame, then that is just absurd, okay? Let me be clear, it's absurd, it's nonsense, it is worth it 1000%. If you would go all the way, truthfully, and come into harmonious union, and you would genuinely feel that it was not worth it, then I will give you back all your money. I cannot give you back your time. I'm sorry. So if you study with me, that's your promise and guarantee. It's just worth it. It's crazy to think that it's not. And yeah, I may have thought that before, So I think that earlier on, it is an insecurity that people may have. And I also have compassion for that, and I also understand it. It's just vulnerable and insecure, and you're not really sure if it really leads to the thing that you crave, which is, at the end of the day, a true, satisfactory inner peace that is so deeply anchored inside of you that you also get physical experiences that are in harmony with that, So good physical experiences too. Well, any physical experience becomes very good if it comes from the inner place of divine love. And that's where you're anchored when you have arrived. And that anchoring is real. And that anchoring it just is. And that is worth it. That's what you crave, maybe already lifetimes long. So don't you think it is time to start, really take it seriously and go all the way? Now, point 2 is indeed, this crucial reminder is, go all the way. The mentality that works is not bump out of the journey multiple times out of fear, but go all the way and stay there. Maintain it too when you have arrived. That is also based on experiences that I had. I did many things wrong, so don't be mistaken about that one, okay? What I did was I went on the journey and then I went closer to where my spirit parts live in harmonious union together, intimately embracing each other in a beautiful relationship. And then it got a little bit scary for me, and then it got a little bit icky for me because I sensed or knew or had this some sort of an inner intuition that like the dirt from within that needs to purge itself first, which can be extensive, was like starting to come out or needed to come out or needed to be purged. I needed to be purified. And that was, for instance, an unconscious reason why I bumped out. And then, I just, went into my corner again and, sort of tried to live my life and do my thing. But it was a calling and it kept on calling me. So I went in again at a certain moment and I saw this opening here and I went in again a little bit to look around and like, is this something for me? Is this part of what I belong to do? Is this part of my destination urge that I had? So maybe I should go there. Okay, let me look around. Yeah, I'm scared again. And I couldn't really face that. And I was going back to my corner, my little corner. And of course, it was more or less safe there, but in another way, it was actually completely unsafe there in my little corner, because true safety lies when you fulfill the entire journey and go all the way when you see an opening and you just keep on going and you don't look back. That's a little bit what it really is, although it sounds, I don't know how it sounds. How does it sound to you? Write a comment below. Does it sound scary to go all the way? Yeah, and I think, after harmonious union, you keep on going all the way. But in a sense, when you've arrived, that sense of going all the way changes its meaning, because that's just what you do every day. Of course, you go all the way. You just keep on going all the way. There's no other thing on your mind anymore, and that is just life. Okay, life is this continual inner growth and outer change, and that is just how you live and how you are and what you are. So then it is not scary anymore. So there is, of course, this tipping point. And yeah, you got to go beyond it. You got to go all the way. And the third crucial reminder for twin flame union success is prioritize. You need to desire union over anything else for success. Also things you learned that you firmly believe in, and moral or other standards of life you thought were applicable to you as a law of nature. So what I'm not saying is that you shouldn't have moral standards anymore. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't prioritize eating and sleeping anymore. You just live a human life. But when it comes to crucial, pivotal moments and choices you've got to make for union to ensue and to maintain it too, you got to prioritize what that inner divine wisdom of union tells you over the maybe logic sounding, maybe survival necessity, logic related thing that you believe should, out of safety measurements, be followed. So you should prioritize union over anything else really at such moments. And I can't really tell you what that will be like for you, because that differs from person to person. What these moments will be that you will have to prioritize union over what may sound logic and what you may have learned in your programming of your familial upbringing and or your societal standards would seem to be the answer. They differ, those points, but they come. And when you're not prepared to prioritize union, then you won't be able to have it and maintain it. I'm so sorry if that's what you were thinking. And I promise you that there will these kinds of points that really feel like undoable, that feel like you can't make that choice. You can't prioritize union here. Well, maybe there, but not here. These moments will come, and these are inner work moments for yourself to reorient yourself, because that's what it's about. You need to reorient yourself towards spirit at crucial points for specifically you. And that is how your harmonious union vibration comes into being. And this is also alluding to the price you have to pay. So I cannot tell you exactly what that will be for you, but there will be a price. It will be something that your ego has invested in that is actually not you, not essentially you, not the core you, the true you, the divine you. And that's why you have to let that go, and that's the price. And when you gladly pay that, then it's easy for you to come in union, harmonious union, and stay there. So the fourth crucial reminder is recognize real love. Your twin flame can be so-called unkind to you, but they should be recognizable through their genuine love for you. That's how we recognize it's your true twin flame. And that is because you have to listen to what they're actually underneath it saying. Listening to that one is the right attitude to identify them, not that it sounds unkind to your ego. So I think this is truly helpful because we hear that a lot. My twin flame is actually unkind to me, and it's a little bit shameful to say maybe because you're talking about yourself. Did you realize that? Did you understand? They are you. On that level, they are you, okay? So that is a little bit weird to say, perhaps, especially when you are very adamantly negative about it. That's what I'm trying to say. Being realistic is good. Being realistic about what upsets you about them is good, because that is your step one of your key inner work. And in our community, we do inner work with key for twin flames and also for all other upsets and issues and problems and imperfections. And in our Facebook group, Your Abundance, you are very welcome to join us in that inner work with Key. And I share a lot of resources about that. And the direct link to that group is in the description below. And I will, welcome you there and show you a beautiful long write-up from myself in which I explain what you can do there in the group, and it will be so beneficial for you. So when you're honest about what you're upset about with them, that is your step one of the 4 steps of that key tool that I share in our group. And being negative about that they're unkind means that you're complaining about yourself. And the crucial reminder is that you have to listen to what they're saying actually underneath their so-called unkindness, and then you may hear something completely different. The true twin flame will always call you back to your true being, to your true nature, and maybe point out to you that something is disharmonious inside your own energy field. So you take a look at that, heal it, and feel more loved and more healed for it afterwards. And the fact that they point you towards your true foundation, where true divine love actually lives, is how they are in real love with you. And that's the one you should recognize. And you can sense that in their words. You can feel that in their actions. It's like the underlayer, right? The fundamental place. That's where they love you. Yeah. And the fifth crucial reminder is choose the correct journey. Are you on the twin flame journey or the ego journey? That's a good question to ask yourself. What kind of journey are you on? Because many people believe things about the twin flame journey that are actually part of the ego journey instead. Many people, for instance, believe in the separation phase. Well, maybe that's also you. And I'm not trying to make fun of you. I think I also believed that one day, and I have compassion. The separation stage doesn't exist. The separation stage is something that people made up for the experience in the ego personality body 3D experience that they temporarily lost contact with their twin flame. And they don't like that because they need closeness or something. They need this reassurance. You know, and this needing is also very needy and really doesn't help. So that is the very fact, most probably, you know, that repelled them in the first place. And this can happen. And we can only have compassion. And you can choose differently and do inner work and heal that. But that is not part of the twin flame journey. It is part of the ego personality wanting journey. I want to have this result now, and it's not here now, and I don't like that, and it should be different. And that is exactly the no, no, no energy that repels them, for sure. So the twin flame journey is about separation consciousness and letting that go piece by piece by piece by piece by piece, more and more, until you're completely intimate with your divine source, and therefore also with your other spirit parts. Your other spirit part is your true twin flame. So there is no phase in time in which you have to separate, whatever that exactly means to you, after you've initially booked some progress. No, there's only coming closer to divine love, coming closer to divine love, and arriving. That is the twin flame journey. I understand that we can have setbacks. I understand that they can look like physical distance temporarily, relationship distance temporarily. I understand that. But that is not the twin flame journey. That is the ego journey that believes that that is a thing, that that is an institution. And when you believe in that enough, well, then you're stuck there and you will stay there, right? And what I'm not trying to say is that there won't be actually an intimate relationship with a true person of flesh and blood when you've arrived. There actually is. The fact that it is primarily a consciousness healing journey, an energy healing journey, does not mean that there is not indeed a true physical relationship outcome when you've arrived. There is. So I hope that helped as well. And let's go to number 6. Let's try make a 6 with my hands. It's not easy. And the 6th crucial reminder is that there exists something that is called the Misidentification Syndrome. And that is the my twin flame is an asshole and I'm an angel syndrome. And it needs to be busted and brought to an end for success to be obtained. So that may be good to know. You've misidentified yourself as the angel and them as the asshole. And you could turn it around and you're still misidentified. Isn't that interesting? Because turning it around is actually maybe in a lot of cases more advisable than saying that you're the angel and they're the asshole. It's a sort of an AA, misidentification syndrome, asshole angel, misidentification syndrome. Anyway. So it could be actually said that it is more helpful to turn it around and at least see yourself as the asshole, because that's where your power lies. That's where your empowerment is, where you can do something about it. Because if you identify that you are an asshole in some areas, in certain ways, then that is a way to know that you have healing to do, and you give yourself that healing fully and completely until you've arrived in another place where that does not exist anymore. That is maybe even more helpful, because that is what often happens, you know. It can be good to say to aspects or people in your life that are truly abusing you that this is not okay, you're going to sit outside of my boundary. Absolutely. But even then, you'll have to go inside of yourself and actually heal what had attracted that and them in the first place. And that is, if you will, your own assholeness. And that is the only way to completely eradicate this issue. So this always works like that. When you go through psychological healing, for instance, of having been taken advantage of and abused and misused or something of that order, and you get a lot of attention and also compassion, which is good for your victimhood inside of that, and that you deserve love and can heal and have a safe place to heal and stuff. But then still, in the spiritual reality, in the spiritual layer of life, you will still have to go through the other side inside of yourself, because that is what will eventually give you the spiritual healing that we're looking for, and that the twin flame journey is about. You will need to go through, okay, I've now done all this psychological work in this loving place, and I understand so much more, and I have so much more love for myself on a psychological layer as the victim of this abuse. And then you additionally will need to go through how that, maybe unwanted, maybe inadvertently, maybe just unconsciously, also has creeped into you in some way, the negative part of that coin. How you are actually attracting that attacking. How you could be a potential attacker yourself. How you are actually attacking yourself, because this is all inside of your experience. And that is then the part that you will need to work through for the spiritual healing in that overall layer, inside of which the psychological layer is of course a part. In that overall layer, you will need to heal that one to go to the healed place that we're talking about. Yes. So what I just wanted to say is that it could be therefore be said that maybe it is even helpful to say that you're the asshole and they're the angel. Temporarily only, right? only to make clear some things that will need to be clear, to communicate to you things that are going on. In general, the whole asshole and angel syndrome is, of course, nonsense. It's completely and utter bullshit. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. You are not the angel and they're the asshole. You are not the asshole and they're the angel. You are just two expressions of one soul blueprint, of one spirit level where you originate from as soul. And those two expressions, they belong together because at the core they vibrate at the same level. This is a natural construction of the universe that has an order in how we live as souls. Yeah, that's just how it is. And I understand that you got to figure that out, how that feels, how that works. But it's not working as an angel and asshole syndrome phenomenon at all. You're misidentifying yourself, not only with angel and asshole, but you're misidentifying yourself with the temporary ego personality identity that can have issues that can be more or less healed. And that misidentification holds you back from living in the directness of divine love and being an example of divine wisdom, walking around in harmony with your counterpart within the ray of light that you on the spirit level are. So let that go. There's no need to misidentify as the body even. There's no need to identify with the ego. There's no need to identify with temporary situations because you can heal them in the heart, and that is your assignment. And you can start doing that now in our Facebook group called Your Abundance, if that speaks to you. And I will send you to a video in which I actually explain how that works, and I will post that right here. I will see you there. Love from Petra.